Government officials insist that this is an isolated incident.
Warning: the following program contains explicit language and mature content. It is not meant for the easily offended. So if you are an emotional pussy, please refrain from listening. Thank you and enjoy.
Welcome back. Another edition of the Buzz Podcast. Damn, I still got to look at the name before we do it. It's your boy Cujo. This time riding solo. My man Jules is at home in pain. So I was like, you know what, dude, stay home. I got this. So I'll be riding solo. Today we got a special guest, Ashlee, by way of Talking About It podcast. Am I right?
That's right.
Damn. Look at that. 7 years in and I'm still not knowing what the fuck I'm doing. Ashlee, first and foremost, thanks for coming out. I know you guys had it's been a busy start to the day already. I appreciate you taking a little bit of time out of your day. Hopefully we could talk about your podcast, see what got you into this, all that whole nine, and try to help you with whatever we can do in honor or in way of advice or anything whatsoever. But first of all, how did this podcast come about? What brought this podcast on?
So first of all, thank you for having me.
Of course.
I appreciate it. So the idea for the podcast actually came about pre-pandemic, about 2018 or so. Mm-hmm. I made the decision to homeschool my kids.
Okay.
So I pulled them out of school, was trying to Google and figure out what do I do now type of stuff. There was really not any resources or anything like that. So it was something that I always wanted to do.
Okay.
Because there was no resources. I wanted to be that, to kind of...
The guinea pig?
Basically, yeah. I kind of bootlegged all kinds of stuff to figure it out. Yeah. And wanted to be able to let people know what was going on. Maybe looking back, it was I had a foreshadowing to 2019 to 2020, right for pandemic. But yeah, so I always wanted to do that, and just pandemic ended up happening. And it wasn't that big of a thing at that time. It was more YouTube videos and information stuff like that. But yeah, so when pandemic hit, we actually started getting text messages and chats hey, we know you homeschool. How do you do it? What can we do? And I started thinking maybe now's the time to kind of do it.
Yeah.
Then I got COVID.
Oh, damn.
And it took me out for a couple of years. So in between all of that journey, I've had my mixer business. I've had all of these kind of ups and downs, struggling with mental health, dealing with different family things. And finally decided this year,
Fuck it,
let's do it. I think I've learned the lessons I need to learn, and what better way to, get the information out that I'm wanting to get, than to just do it.
Just do it. All right. So,
just do it.
So the podcast, Talking About It, what is the overall, or not an overall goal, right? Because everybody wants to do something successful. What is your view on it? What is a podcast specifically about? Say you have a guest, is there anything that you're trying to get from them? Say, for example, if it's I know you had Ms. Cassandra Hernandez, is that right?
Yep, we had
and
her.
She was running for mayor.
Yep.
Is it now with that? Do you go in thinking, all right, so now I'm going to push her for her mayor thing, or are we going to talk more just about her background? What do you try to mold the show to?
Yeah. So basically with Talking About It, that's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to talk about things. We are going to be a place for resources. Okay. I know you said end goal, everybody wants to have success and all that stuff. And for me, just getting that information out. But with Cassandra, it was we filmed post election.
Okay.
So right now we do have a runoff election.
Yeah.
But yeah, having her on was mostly talking about overcoming hardships and pushing through your fears, and how do you regroup after, some of these hard things and continue moving forward. So basically what we want to do, or what I want to do with Space I want to create, is just having guests on who have overcome, who are trying to be helpful to people, or trying to make a difference in the community, and just get information out to people. I feel like in the past few years, we've gone into this type of society where if it's on TikTok and Facebook, it's true.
It's facts.
It's facts. And there's no other type of research that you can do. Or I heard it from Joe Rogan, or I heard it from these podcasts. And it's like, no, people, there's other forms of information.
Right.
And so that's what Talking About It is going to be about. We're going to give you information. We're going to hopefully try to teach you how to use critical thinking and learn how to research some facts and, just talk about different stuff, family, life, mental health.
Before you started this, now that you got the Talking About It going off, before you started, like, were you a big podcast person? Who were you into?
Yeah. So I've been listening to podcasts when they were just like audio podcasts.
Right.
But now it's kind of blown up.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like it's a saturated market.
Everybody
Honestly,
and their mother
everybody,
has one now. It's fucking ridiculous.
But yeah, so some of the ones I listen to, I like Smartless.
Okay.
I like Theo Vaughn, of course. He's
wild.
He's hilarious.
Yeah, he's
I mean,
wild.
I like watching him because he is just kind of, he looks for information. He asks questions. He says some random ass shit that's in his head. But that's genuine, right?
Right.
So I like him. I like Flagrant,
Okay.
Andrew Schultz.
Uh-huh.
Mostly male podcasts I like because
Right.
that tends to lead more to what I like: sports, talking shit, not being so filtered, not really being overly produced or anything like
Right.
that. So yeah, Dana Carvey, the Fly on the Wall.
Oh shit, Dana Carvey.
Yeah, the
That's
Fly
a
on the
throwback.
Wall. The Fly on the Wall podcast is pretty good.
You don't listen to the Haktua? The Haktua Girl podcast
Oh
or
God!
whatnot?
See, the fact that she can say some random ass shit and be thrown into a position
Millions of dollars.
not only dollars, but if she was to say something political or something, people would be like, "Oh, that's facts."
It's got to be right.
Yeah, like look what she did to get to that. That's the shit that I just am.
Yeah, it blows your mind.
It just blows my mind. Yeah.
I saw something now, again, going by our news, because when you're watching news, I don't know how you feel about it, but I can't. I hate watching the news. I hate hearing the news because you got to start thinking about what political viewpoint they're trying to push. Because I remember, maybe I'm just ignorant. When we were younger, I remember somebody would come out. These are the facts. You make up your mind of what you believe.
Yeah.
Now it's if you're on just about every major network with the exception of Fox, it's all Democrat. If it's Fox, it's hardcore Republican. And you can't, it's the same story, but it's painted a different way.
Right.
And now with the blow up of, like you were saying, social media, it's wild because nobody wants to be right. It's always about who wants to be first. So one of the things that we try to do, I guess I'm more central, maybe a little bit right, maybe a little. I mean, you go both ways on a little bit on both sides, right? My partner's kind of the same way. We we tend to see a story, and then we're like, all right, I'm going to see what this say on this network, and I'm going to see what they say on this other one, and then I'm going to make up my own fucking mind because nothing's true anymore. Yeah. I was seeing on our crazy feed, which is what the Twitter or no the what the fuck's this called? Let me look at it real quick before I say it. The TikTok.
Oh,
that
TikTok.
girl, the TikTok, the Haktua chick got some shit from my understanding. She's doing some cryptocurrency scam or some shit. Have you heard about this?
No.
Dude.
I don't I'm really not on TikTok very much, but I hear like all kinds of random shit.
You see, because so I'm usually the same way because I know my daughter's on TikTok like
all the time.
24/7, but being in the in the podcast realm, you got to kind of keep up with the trends and see what's what. And yeah, sometimes they'll come with some out the pocket stuff. But when I saw this, I was like, dude, this girl's barely been famous for all but a half hour, and
and she's already into some shit.
Yeah, they already got. And it's like, you know what? She doesn't look like the kind of person that strikes me like she's the brains behind
it.
But I mean, yeah, supposedly that she had taken all kinds of money from fucking, that she got people, like you said, anything she spoke about was facts. So she came out with like her own cryptocurrency or some shit, and then she cashed it all out. So now she got lawyers, and I was like, dude, this is the world we're living in now.
Yeah.
It's a virtual world. And then when Facebook came out with their Meta World, I don't know, is that still a thing?
I have no idea. I barely started hearing about. I'm sure it's probably over now, but it was like on some.
Is it like MySpace? Like
I don't know. It was like on some show that we watched, but it was like a murder or something was committed in the Meta World or something, and yeah, it was just weird. So yeah, that whole world to me, like, so our generation was the ones who, like, we were first getting, like, we had computer classes to like teach us how to type and how to turn on a computer, and like barely learning all this stuff. I mean, we even had the dial-up, that annoying
AOL.
Yeah. And like when the whole You Got Mail came out, that was like the craziest, most wild shit, right? If you had that computer or you had that in your room, it was like, oh,
it's fire.
Yeah. And so now to kind of see how it's evolved is like, it just blows my mind. I mean, I think I've just kind of put my blinders not onto it, but I just kind of don't. I feel like it's changing so much that I can't even keep up.
Yeah, because I know you mentioned, you had mentioned earlier about homeschooling and whatnot. Do you feel that's better? That's a better way to go now than actually entrusting these people with teaching tests and actually getting some education into these kids nowadays?
I do. Nothing wrong with the yeah,
there's a lot wrong. I'm not
even gonna try to bullshit you guys. Yeah. There is so much going wrong in the educational system. The reason we chose to homeschool, or I chose to homeschool, was because that was a very controversial thing that I decided to do. I had my family members, they're not going to be socialized. Well, you're not a teacher. You weren't a good student. How are you going to teach these kids? And so it was a really tough time. It was something that I had to kind of go through as a parent, right? Because our main focus is you're not ruining these children, So being a stay-at-home mom especially, it was a very hard decision that I made, but I struggled in school myself. I wasn't a very good student. It turns out now, all these years later, I actually had anxiety and panic attacks since I was 6 years old.
Oh shit.
And since back then it was just, she's a bad kid, she's throwing a tantrum, she's this. So I didn't do well
in group settings and stuff.
Yeah, or in school learning, right? I couldn't focus because I was just in
you're having your
panic state. Yeah. So having my kids in school, I actually volunteered a lot. So when I'm saying that there's problems in the education system, it's not me saying it just as somebody who's just saying those words. I was volunteering. I was on all of these different boards, like with SISD and things like that. And so I seen firsthand kind of how it was.
Yeah.
And just the whole focus so much on the testing. And that's where they get their dollars. If the kids aren't in the school and aren't in the seat, they're not getting money for it. If they're not passing the test, they're not getting money for it.
Yep.
So I think when we were in school, we still kind of learned life skills, right?
Yep.
I think there was like home ec and stuff.
Yeah, you still had home ec, you had wood shop.
Yeah, exactly. And now they don't teach, they have STEM, they have all of these things, but it all goes back to the testing, right? And if you can pass the STAR test, if you pass the STAR test and things like that. So yeah, I really think that there's a problem when you're focusing on, these kids can pass all kinds of tests.
Yeah.
But if you ask them a simple history question they're lost. And now they're trying to like block what they can and can't learn and talk about and teach and erase the history that's going on. Like, so yeah, definitely problems in the education system. In my opinion, if you have the ability to do so, homeschool your kids. Also, I will say online public school is actually a really good option as well. So what online public school is it's like the K-12 academy. So it's free. You get live lessons with your teachers every day. You are still self-paced. But with them, I don't think they're as restricted as the they call them brick and mortar schools are.
Right.
So it is a really good option. They teach you different ways to like solve a math problem, whereas in the schools when we were in there, they were only teaching like maybe 2 ways.
Right. Yeah. Two methods.
Yeah,
right.
because the kids learn different ways, right? There's visual, there's audio, there's all of these things, and I don't know. Maybe it's just here that these learning methods are, no, you got to pass this test, and I don't care what you do. Like with my son, he wasn't reading at their level that they wanted him to read at.
Okay.
So he would be punished for that. So he wouldn't be able to go to recess after lunch, or he'd have to stay after school, or he'd have to do Saturday school. And he was only in 2nd grade.
Damn.
Like,
they're still trying to color at that point.
Yeah, exactly. So like, because he wasn't hitting those marks, he was being penalized. Yeah. And it turns out he has dyslexia and dysgraphia, but they weren't going to test him until 5th grade.
Right.
So I was like,
by that time you lose 5 years of what's dysgraphia?
So like reading and writing like in the lines are straight. He kind of like it kind of curves out of it. Wow. It's not like in a straight line. So yeah, it was really weird shit that we had to learn. Yeah. Again, going back to like we were the guinea pigs. I didn't know who to turn to, what to do. It was just me kind of like figuring shit, like trying it and figuring it out. So yeah, online public school is their expertise is teaching kids online virtually. So that I will say is a good option if you can't homeschool, because homeschooling is freaking terrifying. Yeah. But now in 2024, there are so many resources. There's co-ops now, especially here in El Paso. It's kind of blown up. We kind of like aged out of it. Right. So like my kids were a little bit older, but now I'm happy to see all of these things coming up, and they do a lot of activities and stuff. But yeah, I mean, I really hope that education kind of gets better.
I mean, it can't get any worse, right? I mean, I mean, the way, because I know like my boy Jules and I, we'd be talking like when the whole presidential race was going. I was like, dude, if you actually sit back and look at it, do you remember seeing the movie Idiocracy? It was a Mike Judd movie. The dude who did Beavis and Butthead.
Beavis and Butthead.
Yeah. So Idiocracy, I was like, dude, we're living in Idiocracy right now. Like, also, that's exactly where we're at right now.
That and like Bullworth. Yeah. Do you remember? Like all of those, Don't Be a Menace, all of those movies that we watched and that were made as satire.
They're true.
That's fucking that's what we're in right now. What we're in right now. And it's bonkers. The kids with the pants down all the way to their knees. Just like in Don't Be a Menace with the house shoes. Yep. Have you seen those Sonic shoes now that they have? They're like just big ass, Sonic the Hedgehog. Yeah. Those big boot, like kids wear that now.
Yeah, I saw the Super Mario ones, the big red ones. Yeah, I saw that. That's fucking wild.
And it's just like all of those things we used to make fun. Adam Sandler was very good at like not making fun of, but just like throwing stuff out there. That's real shit. Yeah. You know what I mean? And that to me is what's like, it always makes me wonder, like, how they always say like the Simpsons are predictors of all of these things. Like, well, is it that society just kind of follows those things to make it happen? You know what I mean? Like, think about, have you seen Minority Report?
Yes.
Like that too. That's bonkers, right? Back then when we were watching it and they had the screens and they're like
Oh, shit.
Sorry.
Oh, shit.
When they're like throwing
Tearing shit apart.
I know, sorry. Like when they're like swiping and doing all
Right.
this, like that's happening.
Yeah, now they have that in the new the
Ray-Bans?
Google glasses or whatever the fuck it is. That now you control everything with just your eyesight and shit.
Yeah, it's just crazy to me. So like, is it, it kind of goes back to just like, are we making things to mock what we're seeing on TV? So then the real masterminds are the
people in charge
creatives
of
and
it.
yeah.
Well, that's why. And I know, because I don't know, how are you? Like, are you big into conspiracy theories? Because I'm kind of nutty sometimes with it. Like I'll go down a rabbit hole because I want to see both sides, right? I want to see the logical side, and some shit just doesn't make sense, And then there's one where they talk about how everything started going kind of like downhill once the cable started because of all the TV that was coming out. So if you see, like you said, The Simpsons, it's not a TV show. It's a what's it called? It's called a. It's not a cartoon, but it's more like it's a cartoon program.
Right.
So if you look at the word program, they're trying to channel you into what they want to program you into. So if you start kind of seeing the different connotations and different wording that people use towards certain things, it's kind of freaky when you start looking at shit.
Yeah.
But then again, if you're going with that kind of mindset that you're expecting to find something, you're gonna find something.
Yeah. Well, like check it out with the oh God, I lost my train of thought. But like you're so like look at the stuff that we used to listen to and watch, right? TV programming back then, right?
Yep.
Was what you saw. You had like Don't Say No to Drugs.
Yeah.
Not Don't Say No to Drugs. It was Say No to
Say
Drugs.
no to drugs.
Like,
this is your brain on drugs.
yeah, exactly. Or it was like the Magic School Bus, or like there was lessons on to like teach you, right? Or like different ways of learning. And then 90s or so, like I just started watching that Girls Gone Wild, the Joe Francis show. Have you seen that one yet? No. But it talks about him being like the creator of
the modern internet, or
no, reality TV.
Okay.
So like when he started the Girls Gone Wild, it was just an idea, and he didn't understand why nobody else was doing this. So then they started doing, like, it just kind of evolved into something else. But
right.
Look at the time we're living in now. There's not really any people are just trying to get internet famous. They're trying to go viral, which was what his claim is that he's the king of reality. Yeah, going viral and reality TV. Like he even did, I didn't know this. He did Banned from TV.
Okay.
Do you remember watching those? Yeah, like all of that stuff was this guy.
Damn.
So like I feel like it was our generation that kind of started.
Fucked everything up. Fucked everything up.
Yeah, basically.
Well, shit, we had bum fights. Did you ever watch that?
Yes, I did watch
bum
fights. I did watch that.
Bum fights was horrible idea, but it was shit.
But it's like that shit that we were into. Like these younger generations have just kicked it up. I mean, now you have like the Jake Pauls and all of these guys. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like that's like, so we have no one to blame but ourselves.
Yeah, I just threw up in my mouth a little bit.
We have no one to blame but ourselves. But with our podcast, maybe we can at least try to like bring back some of that good old fashioned shit talking, good old fashioned TV watching. Because
I know, like with us, right? Because we the way we spit, or the way we I guess you could say brand our podcast is we like to talk about the shit that everybody talks about, but it's always behind closed doors. Because I hate it. I hate it when people can't come together with a common idea. Because the moment I say something that offends you nowadays, people start yelling, people start mocking, and it's just the concept of actually trying to learn something is out the door. Yeah. So the way we've always done it is that we'll say some stupid shit because sometimes you need a laughter with a reality check because that's the only way you can get through with people. And sometimes shit is just so stupid that you just have to laugh it off. Because I mean, it's like again going back to the whole politics thing. We had like you said, I know you had Cassandra. We had General Major Winters on, who was also running. Yeah. And it was great to see I was happy to see somebody who wasn't polished as a politician, because you get truth from them.
Yeah.
And a lot of the times there's some truths that I don't know if people just feel comfortable coming on here and just shit slips out. Because there's some shit that came out and I was like, yo, I like this guy because he's real.
I think that's him. Yeah.
Yeah,
I think
because
that's
he's
just,
real.
I think that's just him because I watched your episode with him, and I think that two things can be true, which is too much politics is bad.
Right.
But the time that we're living in, politics is the only way that shit is getting done. So you have to fucking come around to it in a way. And it's, just like with this. Oh, let's go. So the communication is what people have no communication skills at all right now. Like you said, it's all just to get reactions out of people.
Yep.
There's no... I know that I had conversations with Trumpers, and they would just get so reactive. And I'm like, I'm not a reactive person anymore. I used to be.
Anymore?
I used to be that reactive person. Now I try to kind of take things in and like kind of go through with it. And like you said, both sides, right? So like even sometimes when I get asked a question, I'm like, let me come back to that, and I'll research or I'll figure things out and then come up with what I actually think. But I think just the reactive communication is just nuts. We've let it go way too far. And politics is I hate the two-party system. I have said I agreed with Jesse the Body Ventura.
Oh,
not only because he's a wrestler. I'm just
I was about to say, you had that Macho Man Wu-Tang, which is fucking sick. That was a sick ass shirt. Just looking at it, I was like, yo, I know that cat. I feel young again.
That's Christmas birthday present, I think, for my husband. But yeah, so like I agreed with him when he says that the political party should be removed from the ballots, and that you shouldn't be able to just kind of vote down the ballot because people just are just uneducated. They don't have the time to learn. If it's not a 15-second shot on who's popular, on what this person's doing, they have no time for it.
Right.
And that's the problem. The problem is you'll sit on your fucking phone for 18 hours a day scrolling random ass shit, but you can't take 20 minutes to find out who the candidates are.
Right.
So I don't know when this is going to air, but if it's before December 14th, we do have a mayoral runoff.
It'll be out tomorrow, I think.
Yeah, so we have a mayoral runoff going on right now. Actually, there's a couple of runoffs for the district seats.
Okay.
So like all council members are all going to be new, basically, I think, for except 3 or 4 seats, something like that.
Damn.
So we're getting a whole new council. So if you're not into politics, or if you're unhappy with the way shit's going right now, with your taxes being raised, with these bonds getting passed, with any of these things, now is the perfect time to get into politics.
Right.
Because you're getting a whole new freshman class, basically.
Yeah.
So you're going to be able to have access to them, right? And make some of these changes. Just fucking be about it. Don't bitch about it. That's something that I say all the time. Be about it. Don't bitch about it. Like, if you're tired of paying high taxes, how about you look up the bonds and figure out where this money is coming from?
Well, that's one of the things that tripped me out, because I know, like, here in this area, the taxes are fucking ridiculous out here, especially because the school system that I'll move this camera a little bit just to get you a little better. No, you're good. Just get a better view of the Macho Man shirt.
It's not even a me on my shirt. You just throw my shirt out there.
We'll just get rid of the head. We'll just get rid of the head. Macho Man's gonna be talking to us the whole way through. Especially here with our local school district that's fucking $25 million in the hole or some shit now. Yeah. And it's like, this is who we have teaching our people how to make everything better by showing them what not to do by fucking being in the hole by so much fucking money.
And the thing is that common sense is just thrown out of the window.
It doesn't count now.
It is not a common thing anymore, right? So a lot of these people that are making these decisions are, even with the school districts and stuff like that, they have big visions, or they're going off of projections. So like I know SISD blew up, was putting all of these bonds together. They got crazy bonds. I think even EPISD got some crazy bonds because they're projecting all of these children incoming. Well, people aren't having kids the way our generation and the generation before us had. So even though they're projecting these things, it's like, bro, EPISD is having to close down like 6 campuses to consolidate. And they just had all of these bonds to build new campuses.
Right.
Same thing with SISD. Like, I don't know, man. I feel like if you're not a numbers person, you kind of get looked upon like you're not a business person. You don't know what you're talking about. But how about have some common sense?
Right.
If people are not having kids at the rate that they were before,
yeah, we're all gonna need all this new shit.
Exactly. You're not going to need it.
It's okay to use a book from last year, dude. Do
they even use books anymore?
I know they don't have a locker anymore.
They stopped that. I think they stopped that like a little after us, no?
I don't know if it was just a little bit. I think it might have been like after all the school shootings and shit.
And look how crazy that even ended up being, right?
Yeah. It's crazy. But with the I was gonna ask, 'cause I know with homeschooling you have to also hit certain benchmarks, right? No? Nope.
So one of the great things about Texas, there's not very many that I am proud of about Texas right now. Just as a woman.
Yeah.
But they do make it very easy for you to homeschool your kids.
Okay.
You don't have to report. It's not a reporting state. You don't have to meet any type of benchmarks. You don't have to have tests, which was kind of interesting because when we first started homeschooling, the homeschoolers that we were kind of trying to get in, you can see my daughter's shaking her head over here. They were like you have a plant over there. They were like, this is science and this is this. And very artsy and very, just this is dirt. And it's just very random. And for me, I was always more structured. Like I think that we should be tested to see where you're at, just to kind of get an idea of what, you need to work on.
Right.
But yeah, so we didn't fit in because we were doing online public school. So when we were at some of these groups, sometimes they would just be like, well, you're not homeschoolers.
Okay.
And I was like,
you're outsiders?
Yeah, we were. Yeah, we were. And, really? Even my daughter can tell you, like, we were just kind of learning what was going on. So we kind of felt out of place, and we just like, all right, we're going to make our own shit.
Yeah.
So like the way I would do it with the kids was we would do projects. Okay. I was in Synergy. You were in Synergy?
No, I didn't do Synergy.
No, you didn't do Synergy?
I was too retarded for that.
No. Well, according to my husband, we were the retards that were in Synergy. Because the way that they, and I don't even know how they do it now, but the way that it was structured when we were in school was, you had a project for the 9 weeks. I don't know. We might have done 6 weeks that time. Yeah. So it would just be a project. But in that project, it would be using math, science, all of the core subjects. Mm-hmm. And so you would just kind of put those things together and have one project. So like we would just do different projects. I made it project based. Mm-hmm. So these kids might not know very good algebra or like math skills, but they know business, how to create a business plan. They can take care of themselves. They cook. They can, it's kind of a whole different type of learning that we teach. But yeah, it's been crazy. It's
because I don't know the last time because I'm like I said, I was actually really good in math and algebra and stuff like that. I was luckily numbers just
came to your head.
Whatever reason I was good with it. And I remember I helped my kid with when he was in 4th grade, he was trying to do some math problem. Oh, I felt so stupid. I was like, dude, what the fuck is this? I was like, no, it's because, this is the method. I was like, no, you don't do that. I was like, so I'm looking at it. And I was like, so of course, us being parents, I was like, so now my kid's calling me out. So I got to show him, right? So look, wait, this is what you're going to put. This is your answer. This dude came back with an F. I was like, God damn. I felt so retarded.
No, it's crazy the way that they do it. They have them break the numbers down completely differently. Like when you're adding 24 and 10, it's like, no, you have 4 10s and you have 3 1s or whatever. Like, that was just like, which I guess when I was asking questions about it, they were saying that it teaches them to understand the numbers and understand the values and things like this. And I'm like, for us, it was just every day, 2 times 2 is 4. Like we used to just have tables. To repetitive learning and things like that. I don't know. Maybe that's why people are so into like conspiracy theories and stuff now, is because like it was just all repetitive stuff. Like we were like parrots, and now these kids and new generation are like teaching us to question you know, like I never questioned education before when I was in it. We couldn't. They're the ones that know this. And
but I don't think it was as crazy as it is now, because I think you could even see now when you have, I don't want to say agendas that are being taught as well.
I think that's what it is. I think you're right.
I think that's kind of, again, the conspiracy theory hat coming on, right? When you have like going back, circling back to our TV programming, right? They're not called television shows; they're called programs.
Yeah.
And then, so when we were growing up, what was big? Will and Grace, a lot of the what is it? My Two Dads.
Yeah, My Two Dads.
There's a bunch of this
Perfect Strangers.
But you had an introduction to kind of the gay community with, like I said, the Will and Grace, which was fucking huge. Then little by little, you know, things started changing into, well, now, you know, the not as an epidemic, but now people started feeling more comfortable coming out now.
Right.
And then now it got close. Then you started pushing the RuPaul shit. And then now things are coming out a little bit more. And it's like, it's wild how we emulate what we see. Mm-hmm. And if you actually sit and think about it, it's, everybody wants to be the star. That's the way I've always heard, as you hear the little one in the background. Everybody wants to be a star. So how do you become a star? By emulating what you see. And I think that's what's got us on this crazy fucking slide that we're on now, that you can't argue with somebody regardless of how fucking ridiculous these people are. Because now, like at schools, they had, my understanding, there was some schools that instead of having bathrooms, they have like little spots that have kitty litter for these people. The kids are furries. They're considered furries. I was like, dude, are you fucking serious?
I also feel like with our generations, there was good kind of like boundaries, or like people were like, or even I guess in parenting, like you don't give in to your kids' every need, and you don't. And I get the whole your feelings need to be validated and all. I get it. But also you cannot be enabling behavior that is, you're making other people kind of come up with these random ass shits. Like the furries thing. When I saw that, I was like,
mind blown.
Are you like, no, we would never have been able to do some shit like that. Never. Nope. And I get it, but in schools, no. Outside, it's just like if you have a job. Outside of your job, whatever you do, you do. When you're inside of your job, that's how you gotta act. When you're in school, you gotta practice taking that test nowadays. Yeah. And it's just, I feel like we've gone way too far. I don't know. I'm kind of hoping that it hit that peak, and now I kind of start seeing things kind of rolling back. Back. Yeah, like just chill. And not everything needs to be a viral click. Not everything needs, like, I think it's just genuine. There's not enough genuine or authentic anything now. I think, you know, like conspiracy theories or anything like that, like you're constantly questioning and trying to get answers and things like that. And, you know, and it's because we don't get just genuine answers from people. Or like if people screw up and mess up, it gets thrown back to, well, it's because did you hear that girl on what was the World Series? Was she the World Series singer that like butchered the national anthem worse than Fergie?
Yeah.
Oh my God, it was horrible. But then her excuse was, well, I was drunk. I have an alcohol problem. I'm going to rehab. Like, no, man, just fucking say,
my bad.
I was fucked up. I partied way too hard before. Yeah. I'm sorry. My bad. Let me do a do-over.
You just gotta come out. I'm at the fucking World Series, bro.
And that's it. Yeah, like this whole thing of blaming or not being accountable and shit like that for me is just like a huge pet peeve. In politics, it pisses me off to no end. Like, just, you fucked up. Yeah. I mean, recently, Biden pardoned his kid or something like that. Okay, cool. And everybody now is like, oh, well, he said he wasn't going to do it. He promised he wasn't going to do it. Fucking so what? Like, Trump pardoned people himself. Like,
they all do it.
They all do it. But you're just going to call out the shit that doesn't serve you or doesn't serve what your beliefs are. Shit's going to be like that from now until the end of time. And it's just, be accountable for yourself. Don't try to be on the same level as people, do your own shit.
Yeah.
And like keep your expectations low. Like really. You know what I mean? Like
aim for the stars, but keep your expectations
for
low.
real, keep your expectations low, man, because like some, you know, even with politics, I think so much like, man, we used to hold them in high regard, you know, like, man, the president, the president.
You never speak ill of him.
You know, you don't, even if he was an idiot, even if he got us into war. Like George Bush was like the first one that I really remember.
Bush, I love Bush.
And it was like, wait, but the president?
No, I just love, no. I loved him with his, what do they call his Bushisms is what they call
Oh,
him?
yeah.
Oh, my, that dude was fucking comedy gold.
And
fool me once, shame on me. Fool me twice, can't fool me again. That's fucking gangster. This fucking guys, man.
But like, you know, like, and that was just him. Like he was authentically him. He wasn't being
a puppet
to anything. And I think that you know, finding that little bit of stuff or that little bit of genuine characteristic in people it's rare, and I think that we need to get that back. I mean, as much as I hate Trump and I've just never been a fan, he's himself, and he shows you who he is. I sum it up to people nowadays just love toxic relationships, and instead of trying something new and being happy or making a change, they're going to go right back to the shit that is comfortable for them, and they know what they're going to get. Like, okay, we know we're going to get this crazy ass shit. I rather have that than...
You see, there should be an age limit in presidents. Because these guys are...
And presidents, and being a senator.
Yes. Like Biden was in for, 60 years?
Yeah.
He has the same mentality that he did when he came in. You're not going to get anywhere.
Well, he's evolved a little bit, but...
he's asleep all the time.
Yeah.
You don't know where the fuck he's at half the time. Like...
Well, now
fucking guy.
He did get things done, and he did have a way of communicating with both sides, which is again something that's rare in that realm right now. Is you have your MAGAs, and they're on this side, and they are, man, I give them they are loyal
to a fault.
Oh my God, it does. I saw interviews with people saying that Trump could murder somebody on the doorsteps of the White House and they would still be all about. I'm like, damn, man, okay. Like, you know what I mean?
My old lady can't even give me that kind of support.
And nobody is getting that kind of support.
They'll be snitching on my ass so fast.
It's just like, you know, I just feel like, I think just in politics, I think age limits need to be. I think that the party system needs to be reconfigured or reconstructed. I mean...
The electoral votes need to get away.
Yeah. Oh.
You need to just go by the popular. See, but the only thing with that would scare me that if you go by like just popularity is that say if you have somebody like The Rock run, that motherfucker would win. Taylor Swift, they'd win. And now we got somebody who absolutely has no real idea. Well, shit.
Their business. He actually has no real. He has concepts of ideas or some shit like that, right? Yeah. I think the whole thing is just. It's changing from the two-party system, definitely, because I feel like it's gone into like four, because then you have like the super conservatives, you have the super liberal,
left, super right,
woke, you know, and the, you know, I tend to feel like I'm pretty centered, and I feel like most people are more in the center. But like you said, they're getting their information off of TikTok. They're getting their information off of 15-second clips at a time, and they're just not forming opinions, you know?
And the worst thing about those clips that you're getting, like those 15 seconds, is that you could clip it to a way that it could say the complete opposite of what the actual person said.
Well, and then on your algorithms, right? It's going off of things that you're already... So they know. I mean, look at Elon Musk is the owner of X. How many people are on X? He knows what your trends are. He knows what you want to hear. He knows everything. So he mapped this election out perfectly. Perfectly. And who's going to get these big contracts? Who's going to...
Of course.
So, you know, I was pretty scared and panicked about this election because I knew kind of what the consequences were, or what I think they are. And now at this point, what was it, like a day or two later, you know, it was really hard for my daughter. She was her first vote that she actually placed for the presidential election. And, you know, she was kind of, it took her, hit her hard.
Yeah.
And, you know, as a mom, first of all, I was proud that my 18-year-old was so into politics. She watched the debates. You know, we have these conversations at home, but I don't tell her, you need to vote for this person because
Right.
this is what it is. I say, no, this is what this person's talking about. This is what this person's talking about. What are your thoughts on it? And come up with your ideas. And so I was pretty like, fuck. And then I just got mad. I was like, you know what? Fine. You guys fucking get this guy. And I don't want to hear bitching about it. After.
Yeah.
Like, let's see what happens.
I mean, so I'm, like I said, I'm down the center, right? But there's a lot of shit that you see, like when you, like for the 4 years that Trump was in there, this dude was under fire by everybody. And that's because he was talking shit about everybody. So right off the bat, nobody wanted to help him. Everybody wanted to fuck him over, which I get. If you come in and you cause waves, everybody's going to want to fucking take you down.
Yeah.
So you can't even really focus on what you should be doing because you're deflecting on other shit, like you were saying earlier about people bringing up the past. Like, oh, well, this dude did this to so-and-so. This dude did that. Everybody did something. Fucking Clinton was smashing in the Oval Office with Miss Clinton was fucking somewhere else. But everybody's like, but the way the news was is that you wouldn't ever talk ill about that person, no matter how much of a story you had. It was always killed by somebody, an editor in chief or something.
Yeah.
It's always killed by somebody until after the fact.
Yeah.
And then it comes out.
Yeah.
This dude is like, oh, you have something, run it.
Yeah.
Fucking run it.
Yeah.
Because I mean, look at this dude he got convicted of like 40 different things, which is the first time anybody's ever been convicted of that, just because that's the way they're hoping he'd be in jail and he wouldn't be able to run for president.
Yeah. Well,
If that doesn't show where we're at with people, I was like, dude, what the fuck? Let the dude run. You don't like the way he runs? If nobody wants him again, he's done. He's too fucking old.
I think the thing with that was more so because it goes the same way. You can say the same thing about Biden's son.
Yeah.
The things that he was convicted on and all of that stuff. If any normal person would have gone through it, wouldn't have been convicted.
Life.
So it's the same. It's the same type of, again, it's going to go on both ways.
Yeah.
My thing with Trump was he did some big things the first time around. So like pandemic, Obama had this whole, like he was just anti-Obama.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like there wasn't policies then either other than the immigration, you know, like, so I feel when you're running off of just those things, you're expecting reactions from people. You're running off of emotion.
Yeah.
I haven't seen any candidates that run off of, I'm going to fucking get shit done. I want to make a difference. They can't now, right? Because the way that the party system is, the way that the way that the money is, the way that, I mean, I was happy to see the AOCs and all the squads kind of go away because I feel like they did the most damage for the Democrats, because I understand the woke, I get that, but I feel like even some of the woke people were like, oh, we kind of went way too far.
Woke.
Because that's where the furries came from, right? That's where all of this other stuff comes from. So yeah, I just feel like I just want to, I'm hoping that this is kind of, like I said, the peak of it. And then whatever happens with the the president or whatever kind of shit goes down. For me, regardless of the first presidency thing that he did, the first term, fine, whatever. But January 6th, I'm a person who I used to support USA. I was a proud American. I was all about, like, I would teach the kids on 4th of July, like all of these things. Like I would teach them different lessons, or like on the, we would burn the flags properly to dispose of them. Like just all of these things. I was so patriotic. And those people turned the term patriot into just some fucking bullshit. I stopped wearing my USA stuff. I stopped being so America because it got put into a bad term, a bad light because of that. When I saw January 6th, I was like, oh, this is it. People are going to wake up. Like watching them, like we were watching it live. So like we stopped doing school and that's what we were watching. Yeah. Because it was like, look at this. Like there just has got to be levels of, I don't know, in my opinion, just levels of shit that is unacceptable. And to me, that's unacceptable. What happened then, that should have just discounted him automatically. Right. Or not stopping it. Or, like just for me, that was like the main yeah, the past stuff, grab them by the pussy, all that stuff.
Hell yeah.
Like the way that we used to talk before, even, like I'm gonna go back to this Girls Gone Wild stuff. Like when I
Yes.
was watching that stuff, I'm like, yeah, that's how we were. We were just fucking nuts. We would do random ass shit. I get it. Okay, cool. But the whole January 6th and stuff like that, like, no, man, we need to, like, if you were to put January 6th and September 11th, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
Yeah, they're in the same breath. That's not right.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. And those were two very big things that happened that were 9/11 brought people together. Man, I never saw people work so hard together or speak so nice of people or genuinely try to help, or, you know, like it was just this thing. And then you see January 6th happen and you're like, and then these people are celebrating it and they're saying that they should have done more and they wish more of these guys were killed. Like, that to me automatically should have just been like, both sides of the aisle should have said, we're not standing for this.
Right.
But then this election,
It shows
they
the
forgot.
opposite.
They forgot all that stuff that happened.
Do you think that was probably a little bit more? I don't want to say a little bit more influenced by what the media, because there's a lot of things that you'll see, like say going back to our days, like when they showed how the media could influence different ideas and different topics, right? Like when you had a picture of O.J. Simpson when he was committed to the murder,
Right.
the person who did the editor in chief who released this picture on, was it Time Magazine, his mugshot, says we want to make him guilty, so make the font, make the screen, make the color of the picture darker. That way he looks, because anytime you associate a dark picture like that, is always with somebody who's been convicted of something.
Right.
And a lot of the times, people will push certain things, like when there was, all these riots that were going on, instead of them being riots, it was people that were having, what was the word that we use? They would use, in a gist, it was like a political get together that got a little out of hand.
Protest.
Protests, yeah. But instead of them being, with the protests were turning into riots, they're peaceful protests that some just got crazy.
Well, and I don't think those were justified either. I don't think that I'm not saying one side is
no.
But what I'm saying, like with January 6th, even if you take the media out of it, with social media now and all of just the live streams that you're watching in that thing,
right?
No, it's just unacceptable.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Bonkers.
It's just bullshit. Like the protests and the looting and the rioting and all that. I don't get that shit either. I'm like, you are not. Why are you gonna go and cause this business as a small business owner?
Right.
I know, how difficult it is anyway. And then to see these people breaking into, I don't understand that either. I think the main difference on those two things is, one, it's the president of the United States who has the highest, holds the highest office and should be a level of respect and power. And the other was people reacting to situations that they felt out of control of. Yeah. And what did we talk about earlier? Communication. People just react. They don't know how to communicate, so they're just gonna fucking act out. Yeah, and then the ones who are gonna go for those easy ways, because of course we always have the people who want the easy way. Oh fuck, I'm gonna take advantage of it and I'm gonna go run into this store, or I'm gonna go do this.
But dude, people were fucking stealing cheesecakes from the Cheesecake Factory. Like, what the fuck is
I don't ever think I've had it. Maybe it's just that good and they can't afford it normally, so they wanted to
fucking
get some
cheesecake.
You know what I mean?
Fuck?
Yeah,
motherfuckers are walking out with pies and cheesecake. Like, this motherfucker.
Yeah, and
that's
I
just
feel
people
like
to do shit.
Yeah, exactly. And I feel like when you're doing that, you're taking away from what you're actually trying to accomplish, right? Like we're talking about cheesecakes, and I can't even really remember what the protest. I know some of them were George Floyd, and so I understand that, but the power of that happening and the power that people actually have when they come together, it's fucking crazy. And I wish that people would see that. Let's do, like Spider-Man, great responsibility, great power.
Great power comes great responsibility.
Like, I wish they would be more of like, okay, as a whole, as a group, we can make a difference, but you have to kind of deal with the bullshit in between, which is the two-party system. You have to deal with the taxes. You have to deal with things that people have voted on already. So I think that we want all or nothing. And my mom says this all the time, that gray is okay.
Okay.
There's okay to be
Absolutely.
gray. You don't need black or white.
Yep.
She always tells me that.
Go right in the middle.
There's nothing wrong with being in the middle.
Yep.
You know, and so I think that we kind of need to bring that
mentality back.
Yeah, like you don't have to be all Republican. You don't have to be all woke. You can have different ideas, and that goes with everything. You know, with
I think we need to get a little bit thicker skin. Where
I
if
agree.
if I could say, if I'm wrong, I want somebody to tell me you're a fucking idiot.
Yeah.
And not be like, oh my God,
I'm gonna hurt his
Like,
feelings.
get the fuck out of here. It's like, look, dude, you're stupid. You're being stupid. This is why. And people don't have. People are at the point where they put too much. They put too much precedent on where they believe they should be and where they actually are at. And it's like, dude, you're not some big CEO. You're just another fucking regular cat.
Yeah.
And the mind process that you're having and that you're spewing, it's not right.
Yeah.
And it's okay not to be right. It's okay to be wrong.
Yeah.
It happens a lot.
More than people think. Yeah.
And all these people that are bigwigs, they've been wrong a lot of fucking times.
Yeah.
That's how you learn, is by, trial and error. The tribulations of life is the only way you fucking learn. Well, back in our days, we took our lumps because we do something stupid, our parents will whoop our ass.
Not only our parents, but the lady next door and whoever mom that we were with that day. Like, we would get it everywhere. Dude. And yeah, it's like, I think you're right about I think, again, I'll be like the gray. I think it goes both ways. I think, because like with my kids, I'm pretty straightforward with them. Mm-hmm. I don't baby them. I've never hit them. Mm-hmm. The one time I tried to spank she's laughing now. The one time I tried to spank her, I like fell over a Lego and toys and like rolled over the sofa, and they all started, my husband and the kids just started laughing. I was so pissed. So like I just got brought up in a way that I wanted to completely do it different with these kids, but I'm stern with them. I keep it real with them. Like she does right now. She's doing a coffee business. Whatever they do, I give it to, hey, this is good, but you can try this, or what do you think of doing this? If they're doing things, well, I don't know. They're pretty smart kids. Maybe it's just because they're my kids. But like even just speaking with people, I think getting older has taught me to communicate a little bit better, because I was so reactive before. Like, I would get annoyed. I was very defensive. I was very confrontational. And now, like we were kind of talking about bringing up stuff from the past and things like that. Yeah. Like, I feel like if you haven't grown from who you were in the past, that's a problem. That's a fucking problem. Yep. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like I've always kind of just been, my thoughts and stuff have kind of been the same, but in how I express them and how I receive information is different. But yeah, I think that we do need thicker skin. I do think that there are better ways of saying some things. And I think it's just a matter of everybody just kind of taking a step back, looking into like, why are you reacting in a way? But yeah, I definitely think we need tougher skin. I hate the fact that we have to walk on eggshells for everything.
Not around here.
No, yeah, not in my house. Not in my household. But that was a big reason that I was afraid of kind of going all in on the restaurant and the bar, because I wanted to do something different, but I wanted to like at the bar we had 25 and older to get in. You know what I mean? Okay. And people were coming at me for that. Well, like, why 25? I can drink when I'm 21. Like, well, it's not your fucking place. It's my place. If you know what I mean.
What was the name of the bar?
It was Weisenheimer's. Yeah, it was Weisenheimer's. We didn't make it a year. Okay. We closed down before that.
Because everybody under 25 got everybody's all pissed off.
Yeah, because they got butthurt. No, I mean, I think also, kind of just in El Paso in general, there's a bar on every corner. Yep. The ones that seem to do the best are owned by the same people. And I think that's a good thing, because they have the magic touch or whatever it is, or, they we get franchises that come in and they get tax breaks and they get all kinds of shit, and us as entrepreneurs and small business owners who have to like grind the shit out of everything. We don't have the funding, the money that other businesses do.
Right.
I mean, just to get that place permitted was fucking nuts, man. I mean, I learned fire codes. I learned all kinds of stuff. And, you know, it was just something that I wish the city would make it a little bit easier for small businesses to kind of thrive and be able to compete on the scale. As far as permitting, as far as different things like that, I think that we need more assistance with that. I think that there's some people who are trying. Like right now, they just brought it back, the El Paso, is it Buy Rewards program?
Okay.
They had started it last year and then it kind of died out, and I think they're reintroducing it now. But it's basically like a points program for local businesses. It's a free service, so you guys check it out. But you just sign up for it. Sometimes they do like merchandise and stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, the permitting process is ridiculous. They don't make it easy. So they just give you a lot of stuff. But yeah, so I didn't make it a year. I basically decided to just kind of cut my losses. It wasn't going to progress. I didn't see it going any further. I'm at the point of my life where if it's not serving me or making me happy or anything like that, I'm just fucking done. I don't have time for it. And so it was a really hard decision, but I think it was the smartest decision at the time. And yeah, you know, it's really sad. I hope that El Paso, you know, we are a city who talks about supporting local and doing this and doing that. But nope. I know about 10 businesses that have closed. And so, yeah, it's really,
it's tough.
It is. It's tough. It's a hard thing to kind of go through as a business person. But yeah, so my bar was a cool bar.
Well, now you're still doing the Weisenheimers though.
Yeah. No? So with that, I am a very big fan of Bruce Lee and his philosophy on be water. Be like water. Be like water. And so that's what I'm doing. I had to close the business and I took a moment to be sad. And I wasn't sad. I'm fucking lying. I was just more so, I was more so just like, all right, what am I going to do now? I had people relying on me and the business, and I was trying to, you know, make good on those promises and things like that. And it just, I wasn't able to do it. I'm only one person who struggles very roughly with mental health. And so it was just a decision that I was like, all right, I'm done with that section, but what can I do next? And like water, I just found a way. And so now we do pop-ups at the Bronco every once in a while. It's difficult because we do have to get permits every time. Everybody's like, oh, this is so easy. We can just set up a bar here at a swap meet. No, it's not that easy. There are requirements. There are permits that need to be got. So we do that. And then I also, since that's only once a week, now I am creating cocktails for you guys on my Instagram page. So I try to do some different cocktails. I don't know. I guess I don't work well with the Instagram algorithm, but I feel like they're pretty cool. Like I just did a Saved by the Bell series.
Yes, I've seen that.
Yeah. So like I did the Kelly Kapowski. You know what? That ended up actually being one of my favorite drinks.
Really?
Yeah. It was.
Let the people know what is. What
does Kelly Kapowski taste like?
What does Kelly taste like? I've been dying to know this for 30 fucking years.
It was a bubblegum type cosmopolitan.
Yeah, she would.
So it was whipped cream vodka, some gin from Alley Cat Gin here locally in El Paso.
Okay. And
a bubblegum simple syrup that we made.
Oh, dude, I can't do gin. Anytime I drink gin, I fight. I don't know why.
This gin's different.
That's what Jesus wants.
This gin is different. This gin is
isn't ginning.
This gin is different. It's actually really good. Yeah. But yeah, that's a really good cocktail. So I did like a whole Saved by the Bell series. My first series was the Beetlejuice series.
Okay.
And then I did a local El Paso owned brands. It's like we did El Afan. I always say El Alfan. It's not. It's El Afan.
Okay.
We did a Synaxis coffee shop. We did a mixed drink with him, like a boozy coffee.
Okay.
Prospect Spirits. They have are you guys bourbon drinkers, whiskey drinkers? So he has a Brindle bourbon.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's really freaking good. If you like the Buffalo Trace or Woodford.
Oh, it's my shit.
Yeah, you'll like it. Shit. Yeah, and they actually have a distillery here.
Okay.
So that's, another good thing. So my next one, I'm going to do, I don't know. Maybe your listeners can help me pick what my next series is going to be. So we either have Sesame Street characters.
Fuck. Give me the snuffleupagus.
Hey.
Give me the snuffy.
There you go.
Oh, shit.
So yeah, like Sesame Street. I don't know. I feel like everybody's doing like Christmas ones, so I don't really want to do one. We were thinking of a Home Alone one. So like Weisenheimer's, our brand. So I guess I can talk a little bit about that. So our brand, Weisenheimer's, comes from the Bugs Bunny cartoons. So Weisenheimer, the definition of it is smartass, jokester, prankster. That was basically us. It was me and my cousin.
Okay.
And so like a lot of the things that I come up with, I was like Jim Carrey and the Cable Guy. I was an only child, so I grew up in front of the TV.
Yeah.
So like a lot of the stuff I do is based off of movie shows, things like that. So I did Saved by the Bell. So yeah, the next one we were thinking of was a Home Alone. Because that's the Wet Bandits. So like our logo used to have the crowbars in it. And when they're about to go in and rob the house, they're like, crowbars up, Marvin. They think. So that's what we used to say for that. So yeah, we were thinking, well, at Weisenheimer's we had the Marv and we had the Harry. So it was Marv's spicy pickles. So before the whole spicy tequila pickle stuff, we already had a drink doing that.
Okay.
And then we had Harry's candied apple, which is basically like crown apple, manzanita sol.
If you're going to say balls, I was like, dude, no.
No,
I was like, no,
not balls.
Harry's balls. I was like, no.
No. And then, so, maybe your listeners can give us a idea of something random, wild characters that you want to see drinks, and we'll try to make it happen.
Damn. I'm just still thinking about what Kelly would taste like.
I'm gonna send you some.
Did you do the whole cast, or was it just certain? What was this? Did you do the screech?
I did.
What was a screech?
So,
I could just imagine that being crazy.
So no, it wasn't that crazy. The screech, we actually kind of based it off of R.I.P. Screech, right? We basically based it off of he's a mama's boy, original mama's boy. So we did a boozy hot cocoa, but we did it using peanut butter whiskey and banana whiskey. So it's a peanut butter. I haven't tried that
peanut butter whiskey yet. I've heard good things.
It's pretty good. So his mom was like original mama's boy.
Yeah.
His mom was a fan of Elvis.
Yeah.
There's like that episode where they break
the
Elvis
statue.
Yep.
Yeah.
So that's the one that we went off of. So we did a peanut butter whiskey hot cocoa.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was actually really good.
That sounds interesting.
Yeah, it wasn't too bad. I was going to do like a hot shot, like something kiddie.
Yeah.
So I felt like this was a good in between kind of growing it up.
Yeah.
I did the main four. I did Lisa, Screech, Kelly. Lisa Turtle. We did Cosmopolitan. There's an episode that they do a murder mystery. It was in the older ones. And she asks for like a mango soda with a twist, or kiwi soda with a twist, some shit like that. So I ended up just doing a Cosmo for her. That had mango and the Snapple apple. Yeah. So that one was pretty cool.
Done the Max.
My husband was like, do some extra one, do the Max, and he's like, with the Max, do something like dry ice, and I was like, yeah, that'd be cool. But man, I didn't realize how short November really is. Like I was so busy trying to get the podcast filming and all these things. So like I just ran out of time. But I wanted to do some like really cool. I wanted to do the Max. I wanted to do like the Belding.
The Belding.
Yeah, the Belding.
That's funny.
So yeah, I just ran out of time for that. But with the cocktail series, what I like to do is I call it canned cocktails because you can make them anywhere. So a lot of times I'll use the same type of liquors that your home bar will have, so that you're able to make different drinks.
Okay.
I feel like a lot of times when people are watching these things, they're like, oh, I got to go buy this.
Yeah. You got to go buy all kinds of
random shit. So like I try to incorporate a lot of the same ingredients, just showing you different ways to use them, because I'm practical.
Yeah, money's money.
Money's money, especially in this economy.
Yeah.
So like all those like wine bottles and shit that you're gonna start getting for holiday gifts and stuff like that, save them. We'll come up with some cocktails for them, and let you reuse them.
Yeah. So what would be one? I know you were mentioning Buffalo Trace earlier, and I know we have another. We have another distillery here, a Sun City distillery. Fucking awesome people. If you ever want to reach out to them, my boy out there, awesome fucking dude. He'll hook you up with whatever you can. He has a lot of ideas. I remember when we did a pod with him, he took us in to show us a process. Then he's like, "Look, dude, this is my competitors. Let's try that. Let's try mine, and let's try everybody else's."
Yeah.
So we went through 36 tastings.
Damn.
Yeah, one hit. Yeah, it was wild. But yeah, shout out to my boys at Sun City Distillery. What would be a drink for Christmas that would have Buffalo Trace in it that I could make and seem like I know what I'm doing?
Nick, you know what you're doing?
Yeah, something that would be tasty, but something that'll be like, all right, this dude knows what's up.
What flavors do you like? Christmas, holiday flavors. So if you wanted holiday, what holiday flavors do you like?
Shit, I've never been asked that. I don't even know what the holiday flavors are. The only thing I know is pumpkin spice, and I hate that shit.
I bet you'd like my pumpkin spice, my pumpkin smash, yeah. Because also there's a difference too. Like when you're making your own simple syrups and things like that, it tastes completely different than eating a fucking candle, a cinnamon candle. So like I think that I would be able to kind of convert you.
Okay.
But yeah, so holiday, so that's Thanksgiving. I think most places. So like for me, holiday spices are eggnog, gingerbread.
Gingerbread works. So you have a thing that tastes like tamales?
Just cut a tamal and garnish your whiskey.
Yeah. That should soak.
I mean, I guess you could, but they use cumin in the tamal meat. I don't know. I don't make, my aunt makes the tamales. I look back now and I'm like, man, my grandmas used to try to teach me to cook and all that, and I was always too busy. And now I'm like, damn, I really wish I would have. I wish I would have paid more attention. But yeah, my aunt makes the tamales. We kind of go in just help her spread. Yeah, but no. So like a good one would be like a gingerbread. I don't know or peanut butter. You like peanut butter?
Yeah.
The peanut butter whiskey would be a really good one. So all you would need is like chocolate liqueur or chocolate bitters. Just do a dash of that with your Buffalo Trace. Do you like s'mores?
Yeah.
So you'd be able to. S'mores. You can roast a s'more.
Marshmallow.
Roast a marshmallow. Rim it with a graham cracker, and then you use your Buffalo Trace, like 2 ounces, ounce maybe of the chocolate liqueur, dash of the chocolate bitters, and then there you go. It's basically an old fashioned. I guess.
I was about to say, it sounds very old fashioned, like an old.
Yeah, it's like an old fashioned. I don't know. I like whiskey, but I just like whiskey. So like before, I was drinking just Woodford. That was like my favorite, and ever since I tried Brindle with Sean, who went over to the bar when we started carrying it, man, that shit is just
I'm gonna have to go try this shit.
It's sweet, it's good. But yeah, I mean, I also like to say I'm not a trained bartender. I'm a home bartender.
Those are the best.
I like what I like.
You have a heavy pour? I know I do.
Not so much anymore. No. Maybe before, but I was just trying to get fucked up before.
Yeah. No, it's because I do, because I'll start, like, somebody will be like, oh, what are you doing? And I start talking and I forget what I'm doing. And then you forget
what you're doing.
I was like, fuck, all right.
Yeah.
It is what it is. I can't throw it away.
No, you got to you got to drink it and then start over again.
Yeah, you got to do what you got to do.
Yeah. So no, I think just for like any home bartender, take those recipes and don't use them as Bible.
Yeah.
Make shit change it to what you like, and I think that's kind of my advice for it. But yeah, so when I do those cocktails, I just make sure that I'm helping you repurpose whatever you have. And yeah, if you guys have ideas for funny cocktails, I'm looking at your Simpsons portrait there, and I'm thinking, well, maybe we can do Simpsons, like a Homer, like a donut type, donut.
You could do the Family Guy. I think the Family Guy would be interesting. Yeah, you could do the Stewie. You could do...
Oh, Stewie.
Yeah, you could do a lot of shit with Stewie.
I don't watch those shows. Oh. So, like, I'm gonna check it out.
To
I think
this
that one would
day,
be good.
Family Guy has me rolling.
Yeah.
Oh, that shit is fucking hilarious.
I've never really been into anime. I think the last animated I was like super into was like the Beavis and Butthead.
Oh, yeah.
And even
you
then,
should do a Beavis and Butthead.
oh, you know what? No, Aqua Teen Hunger Force. I liked watching that.
Yeah.
And Futurama. Oh, Bender is my spirit
Bender?
animal. I don't know why I
Really?
haven't done
A Bender yet?
a Bender.
Oh, that could go.
I used to go on them all the time.
Yeah, for sure.
Every Saturday.
Earmuffs, mija. Earmuffs.
Every Saturday. That
Damn.
would be our drinking day. Would be Saturdays. I don't drink so much anymore. I
Nah.
kind of just stopped. I lost weight just because I stopped drinking.
Yeah, because I can't recover anymore.
Yeah,
I
no,
take
dude.
like fucking 4 days to recover.
Exactly. I don't know what it is, but I think 40 is like this.
Oh no, that's
So
when you
for-
gotta. You break down.
Oh man, and I see some of my friends still, and they go. I'm like, man, I wish I fucking had that. Like I do sometimes. I just wish, like, I just want to go party and
Yep.
have fun. Now I'm like, by 8:30, I'm like yawning, ready to go to sleep.
Yeah, man. No, I mean, I can't even get out of the chair without it making a noise now. It's fucking sad. It's like you gotta wake up the body just to go. It's like, God damn, what happened to me?
Yeah,
I used to be happy.
right.
I used to love my life. Fucking kids.
I know. Kids, that's,
Earmuffs.
we say, me and my husband say, fucking marriage. Oh, it's fucking marriage.
It takes a
Because
toll.
it just takes a toll. But
It takes your youth.
It's like one of those, it's like, in our case, it's been really good. I mean,
Yeah.
it's just, I got to marry my best friend that I didn't know was my best friend at the time. So yeah, it's cool. We've kind of grown up together in the past, I don't know, 18 years.
Damn.
So
That's
it's
a long
cool.
time.
It
That's
is a long time.
That's good. Congrats.
Thanks.
Because nowadays you can't do shit. If I know something more than 5 years, I'm like, dude, we gotta work this out.
Yeah, I will say it ain't easy, and I will say that there's times where you're like, what the fuck?
Mm-hmm.
But you know what? Just being able to work through those things it always goes back to communication.
Yeah.
Just fucking
Just talk it out.
talk it out.
If not, that's what alcohol's for. That's
Right?
why Weizenheimer's
Well, I
is
mean,
around.
Right? Well, was.
Well, still the
Well, was.
cocktails.
Yeah.
The cocktails are there.
Yeah, but I mean, there are other really cool places that you guys can go out and support. So like
Right.
Rally Point Coffee is one of them.
Mm-hmm.
They do like bar and coffee now.
Okay.
So I think they're a really good place. Benny Frank's.
Yep.
Super cool place.
Yep.
So yeah, there's
You can get a tattoo with them too, right behind.
Shit. I have one tattoo that I got when I started it when I was like 21,
Mm-hmm.
and it took me like a year to finish it.
Damn.
Yeah.
What is it?
It was in the 90s. So
Oh.
like, it was like a kanji. I think it says tranquility because
my
I
God.
wanted it
It
to.
probably says to put the fries in the bag or some shit. Some wild shit.
I got kanji because I was so not tranquil and I needed it in my life. So I got that on
Back of the neck?
On the back of my neck. You know why? Because I fucking saw a movie. Again, I'm a big movie person. And I saw, what the hell's that movie called? Honey?
Okay.
With Jessica Alba. And that bitch has her hair in a bun and she has like a tattoo on the back of her neck. And I
Yeah.
thought, oh my God, it is so cool. Come to find out, it was like a fucking henna tattoo or something. So I got that shit. I didn't get the same thing that she had
Right.
in it, but like just I saw it and thought it looked cool. So yeah. That's my embarrassing tattoo
Things we
story.
do as kids.
Oh, yeah.
So where can we find Weizenheimer's again?
Yeah, so for Weizenheimer's, you can just follow us on Instagram,
Okay.
WiseOGs on Instagram. And we do pop-up events, so like at the Bronco on Sundays. Bronco is, if you don't know, they're open. They're popping.
Yeah.
We've got over 150 to 200 vendors.
Damn.
We're always looking to add more vendors. So
Yeah.
if you're a small business and you're trying to find a place to go, I know we have a ton of markets now, which is really cool, like the farmers markets.
Right.
They're fantastic, but the Bronco is the OG
Yep.
home of entrepreneurs, right?
Yeah. That's
so you guys,
pass on a heartbeat.
yeah, so like you can go and they have like those giant papas locas. They have elotes, agua frescas. Dude, and like I'm still learning like the vendors. There's
Yeah.
a guy there that does custom golf clubs.
Oh shit.
There's a guy there that does custom boots and hats and
Oh wow.
belts.
Okay.
They do like quinceañera dresses and wedding dresses.
Yeah.
There's a furniture maker. It's huge. So
Yeah,
if you
yeah.
guys haven't, the Bronco is open Saturdays and Sundays. We're only there on Sundays if we do it. But that's 8408 Alameda, and they're open 9 to 5. But yeah, there's a ton of vendors. If you're a vendor trying to get into a space and you don't know exactly where to go, again, hit me up. I like to be a place for resources. I've done a lot of stuff helping other small businesses. The Bronco is a perfect space for you to start out. You know,
Word.
it's a central location. People know about it.
Yeah.
So you guys can see us there on Sundays. Our canned cocktails, again, are on Instagram. But right now, the main focus I'm trying to pivot over to is the podcast and just helping other small businesses with like permitting and things like that. Like I said, I had to become an expert on fire codes, on...
And your daughter's doing the coffee also, right?
Yeah.
Let's plug your daughter.
Yeah.
Let's plug your daughter.
Proud mom moment here. I, again, am a homeschool parent, and my kids wanted to make extra money, and my mom as well. My mom's a retiree.
Okay.
And we have a really good friend, Tierra Oso, shout out. He does all kinds of like printing for all your needs and stuff like that. But he had I went to go pick up some stuff from him, and he had a coffee cart.
Okay.
And so my daughter saw it. And I was like, what are you going to do with that? And he's like, I don't know. And I was like, do you guys want to do coffee? And she's like, well, I want to make extra money. And my mom's like, yeah, let's do it. It was literally just kind of
The spur of the moment.
Spur of the moment. We met him on like a Thursday or something. And that Sunday he got them the cart. He took the cart there to the Bronco. And yeah, so her and my son and my mom have started their own coffee cart. So it's called Pedaling Coffee. You can catch them on Instagram right now. Is the only place that they're at. They're starting to do deliveries.
Okay.
So if you are in a medical office or anything like that, you can hit them up. They'll do deliveries. They she makes all of the simple syrups.
Okay.
So watching her, you know, as a parent, you always wonder like, how my kid's gonna turn out. Like, am I totally fucking them up?
Right.
And are they listening? And I don't really, like I said before, like I don't really yell at them or do much of that. I basically just try to lead by example. And so to see that they've picked up stuff from seeing me kind of go through the ringer, it's pretty cool. But yeah, she makes her own simple syrups. So right now they have their holiday menu up. My son is her bar back or
nice
coffee back.
So you get to boss them around. Yeah, beautiful.
Well, it's funny because we'll always say like, ask your mom, or they'll say, ask your mom. And he looks at her, not me. So yeah, so that, her and my mom and my son, but yeah, they make their own syrups. Right now they have their holiday menu. Their drinks are gingerbread, eggnog, peppermint mocha. We also have one that she makes that's actually really cool. Shout out to Dr. Ortiz for asking for this one. She asked for like a café de olla.
Okay.
So like it's got the
old school.
The old school, yeah. So it's got like she does a simple syrup for it. So she does like the orange, the anise, all of that. So she does that. So the coffee for that is called the Café Bonita, and it's after my grandmother's. So yeah.
Dope.
She does that, but the holiday menu is out right now. I think she's pretty affordable. They do $6 for their lattes right now. That's their special. But they do other things.
Cool.
So check them out on
and
Instagram.
That's what Pedaling Coffee you said?
Pedaling Coffee. They're at the Bronco Saturdays from like 10. Oh, I'm sorry. It's not Saturdays. My bad. Sundays from 10 a.m. Oh, it's like 9:30ish to like 2. Yeah. So they're there. And then just like I said, they're doing deliveries and stuff now.
Okay. So they're Pedaling Coffees. I want to make sure you get your coffee fix on. And then most importantly, before we head out and get any last words, talking about it, podcast. Any last words you want to say about anything that's gone on today, or any last plugins?
No. Well, again, thank you so much for having us.
For sure.
Talking about it, guys, please, check us out. Right now, I don't have too much on the Instagram or anything because I am building episodes and things like that. I learned it's a process.
Oh yeah.
So I'm basically learning a whole different skill now. But yeah, check us out. Talking about it on Instagram, on YouTube. We do have a YouTube channel where the episodes will be streaming. Shout out to Mike Tipton. He's my producer.
Just a tip.
Just the tip. So yeah, he's been a big help in kind of guiding me through this back end of, coming up with a podcast.
Yeah.
Doing a solo podcast is kind of fucking scary. So I don't know. I'm excited about it. I hope you guys follow us. And let's see, what else would we have? We should be dropping our first episode here coming soon. The Cassandra Hernandez episode is going to be dropping soon as well. I just did the introduction one yesterday. Okay. So yeah, I'm trying to figure out like the scheduling, how many it's just like this whole thing. So be patient with us, but know that we are here to listen to you guys, come up with resources. We want to be the More You Know podcast, where if you guys, I've seen you guys do the More You Know segments. Your segments are completely different from what mine are. But I love it. I think it's hilarious. And I love seeing that you guys are having like different podcasters on your podcast and things like that. I think that El Paso is filled with talent.
Absolutely.
I think that, embracing, I'm kind of starting to see it a lot more now that people are embracing each other and kind of helping each other build. More so than I have in the past, where people are just like, no, I'm trying to do this and I'm the only one that can do this. Like, absolutely. We're both doing podcasts, but they're going to be different.
Yeah, everything's different. There's room for everybody to eat. Yeah,
for sure. So yeah, if you guys check us out. Also for any of your printing needs, my girl, the Linoleum Type Matters. It's very hard for me to say the name, but she does like cards, banners. I have like these big notepads that I use. So yeah, she does all of your printing needs. Another local vendor. And again, guys, support those local vendors.
For sure.
And I'm going to say they're not all equal. I'm not gonna say support local vendors just because they're local. Support the ones who are seriously like giving you high quality, because I don't think that local is created equal. I kind of have gotten in trouble for saying that before, because I'm like, well, I'm not gonna always use, but like give them a chance. Yeah, that's like a whole nother. I could probably be a whole nother. That could be a whole nother episode. But yeah, thank you. For having us on, and I appreciate it. And Be Water, y'all. Yeah. Look, if you don't know anything about that, look into it. It's Bruce Lee's teachings. It's pretty fucking awesome.
Yep, he was a fucking special cat. Yeah, that's why he's on my wall.
Yeah, when I saw when I walked in, I was like, oh, perfect. And then I saw the Woo, my other favorites. Go wrong with the Woo. Yeah, dude. So I got Macho Man. Yeah,
Macho and the Woo. You can't go wrong.
I saw you're a KC fan.
Yes, ma'am. Since '94, went through the bad times, and now we're okay.
I'm an Eagles fan. I've been an Eagles fan since I was in 8th grade.
There's something wrong with all of us, but we all get.
That's all right.
That goes back to the mental health issues.
Shit. Hey, right now you got Jason and Travis doing all kinds of big shit.
Dude, those dudes are blow, man.
I started watching. That was another podcast. I started watching them when they started, and I thought, man, this is cool because it's just brothers having fun.
Yeah, just talking shit.
Genuine. I think that's why people like them, is because they're genuine. I think also his Kylie Kelsey, now Jason's wife, she's got her own podcast, and I want to check that one. I don't know if it's dropped yet or not, but I think it's called Not Gonna Lie.
Yeah.
And I saw some clips about like she's defending, people are in outrage because she's defending her stance on cursing in front of your kids. Well, fuck yeah, I'm gonna curse in front. You know what? Been around my kids all the time. I have a terrible potty mouth. My daughter doesn't say bad words. No. She said next year is going to be the first year that she starts like actually saying bad words.
Yeah. Now my daughter, my youngest now is 11. We have a thing called, which I had learned from, I actually saw Kevin Hart talk about this, free talk.
Yes.
So we'll do.
I've seen that.
So we'll do free talk. She's like, hey dad, free talk. She's like, yeah, man, this girl will talk some shit, and the best, like, and you'll hear her and you want to get mad because she's young, but then I'm so fucking proud because she uses it so correctly.
They're in the right context.
Yes, I was like, damn. She's like, dad, this bitch, I'm telling you. I was like, talk it, babe. Talk it, fuck it. Let's go. No, but you need that every now and again. You need that outlet, and they know when and where to do it. It's not just it's not like I am in the middle of somewhere in church and I say some wild shit. Yeah. But yeah, no, these kids, it's interesting.
Yeah.
They are interesting for sure.
They're crazy. My son's 15 though. He's a gamer, and you hear all kinds of shit coming out of his room, and I'm like, oh, he makes me proud saying he's using it in the right context.
Yeah.
As long as you're using it in the right context, I'm
sure.
good. As long as you have an argument to back up whatever you're coming at me with, I'm good, man. I've done my job as a parent.
I'm with it for sure. So remember, Talking About It podcast, Weisenheimer's at Bronco, peddling coffee at Bronco with Ashlee and family. Yeah. We were gonna have her lovely daughter come on, but she's just out here doing the digital thing for her mom.
Yeah,
I've been seeing. So we'll come back, and next time we come around, we'll have both of you on and just have that peddling coffee even more branded in. Make sure you guys check them out. Check them out on Instagram. Follow them anywhere and everywhere on YouTube. Please follow this Miss Ashlee on Talking About It podcast. It's El Paso helping El Paso learn a different aspect of something that we might not know and a different opinion, and don't be scared to say, hey, maybe she's right, or hey, maybe she's wrong, but at least take the time to find out, to see what other people have thinking going up in their head. Till next time, don't be an asshole, don't be a dick. Deuces.